Okay, beauties, so here we are. We're going to do a little mini yin. And this will be, the intention is we're working a little bit with the wood element. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because it is a really short practice. But what we're essentially doing when we're working with wood is we're looking to bring the energy upward. And I find, particularly towards the end of winter, there can be a bit of sluggishness that starts to set in. Well, it definitely does for me. And so this is just an attempt to kind of, like give it a bit of a kickstart. You're going to need your props, so whatever you've got, and like just make the most of the best of a situation. And we're going to start in square. So if you're feeling a bit more open today, you can start with your right shin stacked on top of your left. Otherwise, just cross your right leg in front of your left. It doesn't really matter, it's just what's kind of available for you. And then once you've decided how that works, bring your hands behind your back, inhale, lift up through your chest. You start to open the front of your body. And then begin to walk your hands forward. So just to a place where you're able to feel a comfortable release, so it's not like majorly intense. And you might let your head hang down. You might pop something under your head to support. But again, these little mini practices are really just about giving ourselves a booster when we've got 20 or so minutes spare throughout the day. We don't have time for a really long practice. So they won't be really long holds, but long enough for you to feel for the change of energetics in your body. Just that time to pause and uptake the silence just for a few moments in your day. And as your body starts to release, there may be an option to ease yourself deeper. But again, remember, there's no particular forcing. We're just working with our own organic release rate, really. And then moving into that final minutes, last 5 or so breaths. Again, just observing where you're hitting against that real kind of gripping edge, and just come back a little so you can relax. It's not about fighting with our body. And slowly, slowly. It's nothing too quick, just coming all the way out. And we're just, for now, going to take our legs straight out in front. So you might have a wall behind that you can lean on. Just close your eyes and let the blood move up your right leg and out down through your left. So we're moving stagnant energy from the right to the left. It's like this process of elimination. And then changing sides. Let's bring your left leg on top or in front, or basically anything that resembles a kind of leg cross. It's depending on what you're working with today. And then same thing again, so hands come behind, inhale, lift your chest, and then slowly, slowly coming forward. So you might notice one side's more grippier than the other. But again, we're just working constantly. So there is movement actually, like we're constantly moving to connect with our edge. And sometimes that means moving deeper, sometimes it means coming back a little bit. And we're doing that the whole time in the pose, really, because it's constantly changing. It's not like we get to a place and then we just stay there. And then do just pay attention to where you might be moving the tension to. So like check your jaw, the back of your neck, your eyes, your skull bones. And just check in if there's space to soften a little bit around those spaces. And then again, that last minute or so, 5 or so breaths. Just kind of touch on to a new edge, a new place of tension. You know, and maybe if you're having a really advanced day, send your breath there. slowly, slowly. Come on up. And slow down for a moment, so you can either come down onto your belly or your back. It doesn't really matter. Just somewhere where you can feel for the blood that is now pumping through your legs, your pelvis, your groin. When we feel frustration, it's often through that stagnation of blood. This is a really good practice to get things moving again. And then from there, transitioning onto your belly actually. So we're setting up either for Sphinx or Seal. So if you want a really modified version of Sphinx today, you can just actually rest your chin in your hands like so. I quite like to have my palms pressing and my elbows underneath my shoulders. Or if you're feeling particularly open, maybe a Seal option today. And again, you can do whatever kind of feels comfortable with your hands. So when we're working the liver and gallbladder channels, which we are today, this particular pose is about opening the front line of the body more so. So you can even tilt your head back to open up through your neck. If you are in full Seal, just kind of let the bones of your arms hold you up. There's no pushing the floor away, it's more like a sinking in. So if you chose the Sphinx option, we're about halfway. It's an option to come up into a deeper version, those last couple of minutes. And then alternatively, as always, it may be that this requires a down level for the remaining time. And so we're continuing on that dance between the yin and the yang aspects of this practice. beginning to very gradually ease out. So you can come down onto your belly. Maybe rest your forehead in your hands. Those big sigh outs that you may be getting, even if they're just little ones, that's the nervous system down regulating. It's like, letting go of all the things. And then if you feel, you can stay on your belly, but if you feel like a child's pose might actually help just to release the compression in your lower back, and pop into a child's pose for a few breaths there. And then eventually coming on up to a seat. So the final pose of our little min, or mini yin, is dragonfly. Now you can obviously do the kind of unpropped version where you're in a straddle and then you're simply just coming into a forward fold. You can sit up on a block if you want to, and just on that note, notice that I've not used any props yet today, which means that you can do this practice propless. So you can pop up onto a block or sit onto something else. The other alternative is to come up against a wall, which I might actually do today. Take your legs out like so. Arms over your head maybe. Something like that. Choose your own adventure, my loves. And again, it's just that easing in, so we're just coming, I like to say about 70% of our capacity, but often for me, it's actually only 50%. I just get to that place where I can just feel something unraveling. And then literally like inch by inch, as I feel like my body's giving space, I'll then let myself move deeper. And again, those last 5 or so breaths, just to scan the body and check. Is there a particular area that could still maybe soften a little bit more? Is there an edge that you need to just pop back from a little bit? And slowly, slowly, easing on up. Oh. Maybe you need to help your legs together. Feel about 150 years old. And then lay back for Shavasana maybe. Another alternative is to choose to sit for a couple of minutes and just focus on your breathing and the change of energy now that mini practice has happened. I hope that was helpful for you. Namaste.